Have you ever felt like your paycheck just magically disappears the moment you move to a new city? Yeah, you're not alone. But here's the truth. Living in Montgomery County, Maryland, it's not cheap, but it might be worth it. So if you're thinking about moving to the DC suburbs and wondering whether Montgomery County is going to break the bank or likely bruise your wallet, stick around. Today, we're breaking down exactly what it costs to live here. The good, the bad, and the pricey. Montgomery County is one of the most popular areas for families relocating to the DC metro area. It's known for its top schools, beautiful neighborhoods, access to public transportation, and just an overall quality of life. But all that comfort, it comes with a price tag. From housing and transportation to groceries, healthcare, childcare, and those sneaky hidden costs that catch people off guard. And somewhere in there, I'll tell you about the $7 croissant that nearly made me cry. So if you're moving from California or New York, Montgomery County, it might feel like a relative bargain. But if you're coming from down south or other parts of Maryland or somewhere like the Midwest, this will be a wake-up call. As of mid-2025, the median home price in Montgomery County is around $620,000. Condos and townhomes are about $350,000 to about $550,000. Single-family homes, $700,000. Areas like Bethesda and Chevy Chase, that's easily $1 million. More affordable options would be Germantown, Gaithersburg, Wheaton, and Silver Spring area. Now, if you'll be renting a one-bedroom apartment, it's roughly $1,800 to about $2,200 a month. Three-bedroom single-family homes would be about $3,000 to $4,500 a month. And of course, these are all dependent on the area. A decent townhouse in highly rated school districts, probably around $2,800 or more. And that doesn't include utilities, which can add another $200 to $400 a month, dependent on your household size and the season, because heating in the winter, it's not a joke. Now back to my home buyers. So Maryland has some of the highest property taxes in the region. Montgomery County specifically, property tax rate is at 0.94%. So on a $600,000 home, that's about $5,640 a year, or $470 a month just in property taxes. So there are definitely some tax credits for some homeowners if you meet the income requirement. Now on to some other expenses: groceries, Trader Joe's, or takeout. So let's just say this: if you like Whole Foods, you'll feel right at home here in Montgomery County. But if you're feeding a family of 4 on a budget, you'll need to be strategic. Here's a rough idea of what you might pay. A gallon of milk, roughly $4.50. A loaf of bread, $3.75. A dozen egg, depends on where you go, I'll say starting around $5. A pound of apples, $2.50. A weekly grocery haul for a family can easily run $150 to $250 a week, and that's if you're cooking most meals. Now the farmers market here, they are great, especially in places like Rockville, Kensington, and Tacoma Park, which are some of my favorite. But they're not the cheapest. I support local pricing. All right, transportation, metro, gas, and the car. Now, depending on where you live and work, transportation, it can either be manageable or a serious expense. Gas, of course, varies, but it's been averaging out to be around $3.50 a gallon as of this year. Public transportation, we have a great metro system, and you can get a monthly pass for $72 to $144, depending on the zones. MARC train and ride-on buses, they are also great options. Now, if you're driving and you're on I-270 express lanes or I-95, you gotta factor in those daily toll costs, and that's of course depending on where you're going. Car insurance, now Maryland average is $1,300 a year, but Montgomery County tends to lean higher due to traffic and accident rates. But of course this varies, like every car insurance would in any state. Of course, that's just an estimate for Montgomery County. Parking in Bethesda, Silver Spring, downtown Silver Spring, or downtown Rockville, that's its own level of stress because meters, garages, permits, it all adds up. Childcare and school. This is where Montgomery County shines, and of course, it charges accordingly. Childcare costs, so full-time daycare For toddlers, that can be around $1,600 to $2,400 a month, depending on the school, depending on location. Part-time preschool, $800 to $1,200 a month for my flexible parents. This is where a lot of parents get creative with saving money, is by joining a nanny share. It can be a cost saver if you find a great match. But here's the upside. Public schools in Montgomery County are excellent, and that's what Montgomery County is known for. So once your kids hit school age, many families, they move here specifically to avoid paying for private school tuition. All right, healthcare. Maryland has some strong healthcare systems. Montgomery County is home to several major hospitals and medical networks. So your monthly health insurance premium is a family plan. And if it's employer sponsored, you can expect to pay $400 to $800 a month after your employer contribution. Copays here are fairly standard, but specialists can get pricey if you don't have good coverage. So if someone in your family has chronic medical needs, you have to budget generously for that. All right, let's talk utilities and internet. For a standard 3-bedroom home, electricity and gas, $150 to $250 a month. Water and sewer, $80 to $120 a month. Internet, you can expect $60 to $90 a month. And Verizon Fios and Xfinity, they're the main players here in Montgomery County. Speeds are good, but prices are steep. All right, lifestyle and hidden costs. So here's where it gets sneaky. The cost of living isn't just what you have to spend, right? It's also what you end up spending to keep up with your lifestyle. So dining out, a casual dinner for two is $60 to $90. Coffee and pastry, $8 to $12. Remember that $7 croissant? Yeah. Family dinner at a sit-down place, that's easily $100 or more. And for families, you have to think recreation and activities. Gym membership, $50 to $90 a month. Kids sports or program, $100 to $200 a month. Museum admissions, those are often free in DC, but parking isn't. Weekend family outings like zoo, indoor play, aquariums, $50 to $100 a weekend. But let's talk about why people still move here in droves. The elephant in the room is, it's the quality of life. Really worth the cost? Well, for many families, the answer is yes, but only if you're prepared. The challenge is balancing high living costs with your family needs, saving goals, and work flexibility. So if you're house poor with no budget for recreation or daycare, the stress will wear you down fast. But if you can afford it, parks, school, safety, culture, it can make a massive difference in your family's day-to-day happiness. So here's what I've seen families do to stretch their budgets in Montgomery County. Some of them live slightly further out. We're talking Clarksburg, Damascus, Olney, to get more space for less. They use the ride-on buses quite often and the MARC train instead of relying only on the metro or by car. They buy instead of rent if they're planning to stay here for more than 5 years. And they take advantage of free county programs, the libraries, rec centers, and even summer camps. A lot of them prioritize buying in highly rated school zones so they can skip that private school tuition. They share childcare or coordinate with neighbors. And those are just some of the things that they do to cut costs. Montgomery County is expensive, but there are real ways to make it work. Here's what often catches people off guard. It's not one big cost. It's death by 1,000 swipes. A latte here, a toll there, Target runs, after school classes, weekend activities, all the little conveniences, they add up in a place like this, where the default lifestyle tends to be on the higher end. You don't have to live like everyone else to enjoy this area. You just have to be smart, intentional, and clear about what you value. But overall, Montgomery County, Maryland, it is a great place to live. It's a great place to live, raise a family, and build a life. So it's not a budget-friendly move. Housing, childcare, and lifestyle costs, they are high. But if you know what to expect, you can plan better and make more informed decisions. For some families, the schools, walkable neighborhoods, and access to DC are totally worth it. For others, the trade-offs, they're too steep. No place is perfect, but if you're going to spend nearly $10,000 a month just to exist in Montgomery County, Maryland, it might as well be somewhere that makes your life easier, your kids happier, and your weekends a little more interesting. Watch this next video to see the top 5 neighborhoods for families in Montgomery County, Maryland. Catch you on the next one. Bye.